have one presentation today, boys and girls, and it's about our first country in South America. We talked about the continent of South America. And today we are going to talk about a specific country. The name of this country is Peru. This is Peru right here.
Peru? This is Peru?
The name of it is Peru.
Peru?
Yeah. The capital of Peru is Lima, and it's where the knob is. Yeah. Almost quarter of the population of Peru lives in the city of Lima. Long time ago, most people lived in the countryside, but now more and more people are moving to the big city. So, let's see. Most of the time when you say Peru, most people think of Machu Picchu, which is a city that you can go visit. It's the ruins of it. It was built in the year 1400. It was built by a civilization called the Inca civilization. It's a very interesting ruin because these rocks that are on top of a very high mountain are very heavy. And the Incas did not have wheels. In their civilization, they did not have wheels. And scientists until today, they don't know how the people got the rocks from down in the valley up to the mountain and built the city. It's a very interesting, puzzling civilization.
They live on a mountain?
This city, yes, and they believe this was a place to go vacation. That's what the purpose of this city was. Another thing about the Inca civilization is that they had their own calendar. So they had 12 months, but they followed the sun, and they, I don't know if there's a picture of them. There's no picture of it here, unfortunately. I'll try and have a picture of the Inca calendar.
Inca calendar?
It looks like a circle, and in the middle of it there's a sun, because the sun is what? The center of our what?
Towards the sun.
It's the center of our solar system, right? All of the planets orbit around the sun. And they kind of knew that already. And their whole calendar system revolves around the sun. So it's very interesting for a civilization that hasn't even invented a wheel can already be so advanced. So it's a very, very interesting civilization. This is one of the interpretation of the sun that they have.
Octopus sun?
They have very different kind of interesting interpretations of the sun. It's twice as big as the state of Texas. It looks small, but it's in real life it's twice the size of the state of Texas. The population of Peru is about 30 million people.
What?
Peru has a long coast along the Pacific Ocean. You see where my finger is?
Yeah.
This is the Pacific Ocean. I'll hold it up. Sorry. So this is the Pacific Ocean.
Yes, that's the largest ocean in the
And
world.
this is Peru. And look how much beach they have. All of this is beach.
Beach?
Yes. And Peru also has part of the Amazon, which is the rainforest. The biggest country to have part of the Amazon is Brazil. After Brazil is Peru. They have the second biggest part of the Amazon in Peru.
Peru?
And this is the, I don't say this correctly, I'm sorry with my accent, but it's called the Andes Mountains.
Andes Mountains are like the same kind. What about that beach?
This is the Andes Mountains. And they're so high that there's snow on top. And remember, Andes Mountains are not the highest mountains in the world, but they are the longest. They go on and on and on and on. You can drive and drive and there's more mountains. So it's not about height, it's how far they go.
It's super enough. What?
A huge jungle covers about half of the country of Peru. This jungle is called the Amazon.
Amazon River? Does it mean that
It's the Amazon forest. And the Amazon forest is
you know,
part of the rainforest. And the Amazon River, this is a picture of the Amazon River. That's part of it is in Peru. The Amazon River goes through many countries. One of them is Peru. I will allow for questions, I promise. Thousands of animals live in the Amazon. Colorful frogs pressed on trees, and then they have jaguars,
Jaguars. Hey, what's that?
and they have monkeys live in the Amazon. One thing I know about Peru is that they have the largest amount of bird species
What?
in the world.
I can't see them.
They have more bird species than any other country in the world in Peru. This is Machu Picchu that we were talking about, and you can tell that it's ruined. The buildings are not up, but a lot of people come from all over the world to look at this ancient city. Again, it was built by a civilization called the Incas, and it was built around the year 1400. Then people from Spain came to Peru by boat, and most people in Peru speak Spanish, but there are two other languages that are more indigenous to the people that lived there before the Spanish came.
What are they?
What are the languages? I don't know. I have to look it up. So today most Peruvians live in a big city. This is what a big city like Lima looks like.
Oh, look at that.
I want you to look at the building. Apartment buildings on the beach.
What are the cats? I just saw a cat.
This can be like Florida, right? Big buildings, apartment buildings, looking at the ocean. So most of the population lives in big cities, and about a quarter of the population lives in the capital, Lima.
So what are
Incas are, do you know how we say Native Americans lived in Northern America before the white or the people came from Europe on boats? So the Incas are the people who lived there before any people came from Europe to South America, in that part of South America. The main language in Peru is Spanish. Oh, here we go. These are the other two two languages. It's called Libro.
How do you speak them?
I don't know. That's one language I don't know. And they say many of the Incas speak a language called Quichua. That's the Inca language, called Quichua. Quichua. So if you speak Inca, it's called Quichua. Do you guys know the name of the animal that this boy is holding? Right. There are two things on this page about food. There's one thing is called ceviche. Peru is very famous for a dish called ceviche. Ceviche is basically if you are a fisherman or you go to the market and there's fresh seafood that just came from the ocean. You take it home, you chop it up, you don't cook it, you put lime juice on it, you put corn, crunchy corn kernel, what do you call those corn things that usually they give them here at the bar, but corn nuggets, corn nuggets crunchy.
Yeah.
They put cilantro, and it's eaten raw, but the lime, because it's acidic, it cooks the seafood a little bit. So some of the best ceviche is from just following Peru recipes. Also, Peru is famous for potatoes. The southern part of Peru, I heard that their potatoes are out of this world. And do you guys know have you ever seen purple potatoes in the supermarket?
I know that there's a such thing as purple carrot.
Purple carrots, yeah. Well, purple potatoes supposedly also come from Peru.
What?
Okay, so boys and girls, one thing I can tell you for sure, South America, all of it, is obsessed with soccer. They don't call it soccer, they call it football, because you use your foot to hit the ball.
What?
I don't know why in the United States you guys call football.
Because in football, Spanish and
Right. So they call it football,
Spanish.
and everybody plays football. That's what they do when they come home from work. That's what they do on Saturday. And it doesn't matter whether it's grass, blacktop, sand. They play soccer. They can play soccer with a box. They can play soccer with a ball. They play soccer with anything.
What?
They love, 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 love soccer.
What about a school?
They play it at school. They play it when they go home. Old men play it. Young men play it. Girls play it.
Or road school.
If you're good at soccer, you're like a rock star.
What the rock star?
One thing Peruvians are very famous for, and I was going to wear it today and I forgot. Something came up and I forgot.
What?
It's weaving. And they wear ponchos. They love to wear colorful ponchos. Poncho is kind of like a sweater that doesn't necessarily have sleeves. It's like wearing a blanket, and it has tassels, and it's very colorful.
So
And
let's wear ponchos tomorrow.
yeah, I'll wear poncho
I have
too.
a
Oh,
couple
well, my poncho I have.
Yeah.
I don't have one.
And guess what? They get the wool to weave. Where they get the wool from the llamas.
What the?
Boys and girls, this is a special kind of a flute that's made out of bamboo. So they use nature to make instruments to play. And maybe sometime this week, or maybe maybe sometime later on second line or during work time, we would play some of the Peruvian flute music. It's absolutely just very, very peaceful and very calm. This is the flag of Peru. This is the flag of Peru, and this is the outline of the country of Peru. So this is a work that you can choose when you have geography.